Employees of McDonald's, what secrets did you discover while working there?
Former employee here. I found out that, when making 5 gallons of sweet tea, an entire 4-pound bag of sugar goes in. Sandwiches with round egg use real, cracked eggs. Folded and scrambled come from packaged goods in the freezer or fridge. I also had a manager that insisted more people purchase filet-o-fish when it's raining out because they subconsciously associate the watery weather with fish. Anyway, he did some research by pouring through sales of filet-o-fish for months and months and comparing it to weather data for each day. Turns out he found something like a 3% increase on rainy days and was very pleased with himself. Edit, wow, I will answer some of your questions up here so people can see. The manager voiced his theory one day, and the crews all argued with him about it. This went on for a while. He was committed to proving us wrong, so he secretly pulled the sales numbers at work and did the rest on his own time, never breathing a word until he brought his printed report in to shut us all up. He did separate Fridays during Lent and compared those days to each other in anticipation of having holes poked in his research. We still did that anyway, of course. As pointless and imperfect as the research was, it was impressive to see his commitment to giving us the middle finger.
Dehydrated onions, you put them in a metal thing and just add water the thing is they still taste great. But I was shocked and happy that I didn't have to go cut onions.
For the one I worked at in high school. Burgers are kept in a warming area for no more than 15 minutes then thrown out and new ones are made. You get a free meal from anything except the salads. Meal is a sandwich, medium fries and a medium drink. At the end of the night all the cooked meat is thrown out. If you want you can use it to make burgers and take them home with you. Specific tools and grill section for cooking chicken versus beef to make sure they don't cross for those customers who don't eat beef. The Hindu coworkers were very vocal about this rule if you work the grill.
The official deodorizing spray they gave us is the most pleasant thing I've ever smelled in my entire life. Even now, I wish I could smell it again.
My manager used to be on my back all of the time for giving out too much sauce. He tried telling me the limit is 1 per meal. Edit, I am based in the UK, our portions generally are smaller here but I would still give out as many sauces as possible, FCK being stingy.
I worked there when I was in high school. Not a secret, but I hadn't known much about franchises before then. I hadn't realized that McDonald's could vary quite a bit in quality and professionalism based on who the owners were and what type of management/workplace they set up. I worked at a really good one, with good management, but some are beep.
The pickles are surprisingly aerodynamic. They stick to walls and, if you have the stones, manager's shirts pretty well.
I learned that if I have time to lean, I have time to clean.
If you want a good replacement Big Mac sauce, 3 big tablespoons of good quality mayo. About a single good tablespoon of ketchup. 2 teaspoons of gherkin relish. 1 tablespoon or so of pickle juice. 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. Half to 1 teaspoon of turmeric. Mix till thoroughly combined, leave in the fridge to let the ingredients make friends with one another overnight. Edit, I looked it up, and apparently this is just my version of Beep Thousand Island dressing.
My old McDonald's had a basement.
Man, reading these I am wondering why my McDonald's was so boring. We didn't spit on anything, the stuff that needed to be kept clean was kept clean, if it wasn't required it would be filthy. The ice cream machine worked fine, food wasn't undercooked, on occasion it was overcooked. Employing high school kids of course they are gonna make some mistakes, but nothing too bad.
I worked at McDonald's when they first introduced sweet tea and remember that it was brewed in a large bucket mixing hot water with a full bag of granulated sugar. It makes me sick to think about but I still sometimes crave that disgustingly sweet tasty garbage.
My first day on the job I was told to be on the lookout for the elderly gentleman who would try to sneak around the counter and pour the entire coffee pot into his mug while everyone was too busy to stop him.
Worked there in high school. Found out that if you put the middle of a Mac bun in the fryer and then add soft serve and strawberry topping, it tastes just like a funnel cake. Custom creations were the best part of working there. Edit. I have thoroughly enjoyed hearing about all of your own custom creations. You have all made my workday much less boring, so thank you.
Drop any unopened chicken nugget sauce on the ground once, you've got yourself a sauce grenade.
I started working at MCDS when I was 15. The secret is that it's probably one of the cleanest restaurants in your city. The standardizations and routine practices leave little room for employees to think for themselves. It was a way cleaner restaurant than the $30.50 per person place I would work at later.
Depending on which one you work at, the parking lot is basically a meetup for druggies/drug dealers and, at least where I was in New Mexico, people to meet up and have sex in their cars. As long as they kept their business to the middle of the night and didn't cause any serious problems, we were told not to call the cops or make a fuss, mostly because they'd come in and buy food after their shenanigans. Soda and mini pies were really popular with heroin addicts. What I later found out is that management was actually told to let it slide by corporate, since everyone higher up was aware of how much money the night crowd brought in. I got to see many drug deals. I'm convinced I saw at least one arms deal, but I of course have no way of verifying that.
The Big Mac is just a double cheeseburger with 1000 island dressing, lettuce and an extra piece of bread. And #X200B, if you order a double add lettuce and Big Mac sauce, you get the same thing with less bread and cheaper price.
Before I worked there, I always thought they used a grill. Turns it's more of a heated press machine.
Worked in one from 2000 to 2005. During this time, they changed the bacon. The new bacon isn't as good. During this time, they changed the shake mix. The new shake mix isn't as good. The shake machine works just fine, so long as someone remembers to fill it before it gets too empty and goes into automatic 90-minute self-clean mode. It also takes a very long time to start up, so if someone forgets, there's no shakes for 30 minutes. This was never a problem for me. Whenever I did opening shift, I'd kick off the coffee brewing for my team, then start up the shake machine for myself. The chocolate chip cookies and McGriddles taste amazing if you eat fresh out of the oven. Always made an extra half tray for myself. If you're ordering a meal, say the size first, large number 1 with a Coke. Everyone knows that ordering the meal is cheaper than getting that same sandwich, fries, and drink individually. But here's the secret. The POS has a button for the large number 1 and a different button for the medium number 1, then another menu for the drinks. So if you say, I want a number 1 with a Coke, I can't hit any buttons until I know the sizes of the meal, the size of the fries, and the size of the drink.
A couple of Mormon missionary guys came in one time and ordered their food, and also ordered French fries with no salt. So the fries had to be fried specially, with no salt. They told me it was their tactic to get hot fries.
There is a glitch with the McDonald's app. There is a deals section and it usually has a coupon for a free cookie or free apple pie with any order. Add it to your order and you get the free cookie. Then, the next time you order from the app, just reorder your last meal. You can add, subtract whatever you want, but the free cookie will still be there. The glitch is that you can add another free cookie from the deals section, and now you have 2 free cookies. Evidently there is no cap to this. I now get 5 free cookies with each order. I stopped at 5 because I felt that any more than that would be overkill.
Anyone who says they messed with food was lying, unless it's something boring like, we left patties in the warmers too long. One thing I was shocked by, this was pre-internet forums being widely used, so it was just info from people working there, was that no burgers are flipped. You put your 10-to-1 patties or 4-to-1 patties on the grill and hit a couple buttons and a second grill comes down and both sides are cooked for you. I loved scooping a big tower of them off the grill to plop into the warming trays. Also, I worked in one in the desert and sometimes our AC would crap out, but only for the back. So you'd be sweating over the stupid grill and your co-workers would be hiding in the freezer.
Anyone claiming the employees do disgusting stuff with food is lying. The kitchens are not only open and completely visible to customers, but also heavily monitored by camera. If someone was messing with the food, you can bet they would be fired and escorted out before they even finished whatever deed they were committing. Look, it's fine to not like McDonald's. It's fine to think it's gross. It's fine if you just hate fast food, logical, even. But making things up to disgust people is not okay. Source: former McDonald's corporate employee, worked in both corporate and franchised locations. Standards and practices are normalized and enforced in both. If you do notice things like the people in this topic are claiming, report it to management or report the location to McDonald's customer service.
I worked at MCD in high school. This was the 90s. The store I worked at had incredibly high standards. I was taught proper customer service skills, how to de-escalate a situation, time management, cleaning skills, people skills, and so much more. I thrived there. BCI was lacking adult role models anywhere else in my life. My managers made sure I was caught up on my homework, helped me study, made sure I was eating even though it was fast food. It was better than no food. I made some of the best friends I've ever had and am still friends to this day. I can truthfully say working there saved my life in high school. McD's has a very thorough training program for managers. I was fast-tracked to management and at 18 they put me through Hamburger University, the McD's training site in Illinois. That was quite an experience. I ended up leaving McD's at 19 to go be a young adult and try a new jobs. I don't have any trade secrets to share really. I'll just say this. Don't knock the kids, people working fast food. Don't make fun of them, laugh at them or make them feel bad. They are learning valuable skills that will serve them well later in life. They are doing what they can to earn money. They're serving you the junk food you want while learning how to grow up to be a successful adult. Sure, not everyone fits this description, but more people do than you think.
It's a beep-up mess of cogs and gear that still has some beep way of working. Ex-worker of a McDonald's.
Not really a secret, but when I'm on wrapping the food, and I get nuggets, I might slip an extra 2 to 3 because I like the thought of someone getting hype over an extra nug or 2.
All drinks come in as a syrup and are carbonated on the spot, hence why it can taste flat sometimes. There used to be a way to get a discount code for every second that the timer was running on a coupon, but they patched that in 2017. The ice cream machine at my place usually broke down because people mixed up the milkshake bags with blue caps and the ice cream bags with red caps while filling the machine. Mismanagement is surprisingly common and corporate doesn't give a single beep as long as there is sufficient profit coming in. Edit. For everyone saying, that's how all soda machines work, a lot of people do not know how they work, including me before I started working there. Great if you know how it works, but no need to flex your wisdom below.
The cups of ranch, like for nuggets, is different than the ranch that goes on wraps and sandwiches. I believe that kind is buttermilk. I think most McDonald's have discontinued the wraps though, sadly. Fun fact, I met the love of my life at McDonald's. We were both teenagers and closed together 5 nights a week. Him and I had the best work ethic because we both had worked at McDonald's for a few years, so we knew the closing procedures like the back of our hands. Every time I ordered a wrap, he'd make sure to grab a ranch cup and use that instead. Always told me it was made with extra love. Cute teenage beep. Before we knew it, we got an apartment together. Months turned into years, we planned our lives together. Almost eloped. I couldn't picture myself with any other person, neither could he. Sadly, he passed away unexpectedly last year. I was heartbroken, obviously. But it forced me to take a good look at my life and change what I didn't like. Now every time I think of McDonald's, I get flashbacks that take me back to such a blissful time, such good memories. Definitely wasn't the greatest job, but knowing how to do the procedures in a smart way and working with fun people, who also work smarter not harder, really made it one of my favorite jobs.
So many affairs and love triangles. Also, I don't know if this counts, but the food was not gross at all. Like our kitchen was super clean, our meat was frozen and cheap, but it was never gross, our veggies were always good. The only thing gross was the fact that if you worked the French fries, you would go home covered in oil, but the actual oil wasn't gross. Maybe I just worked at a nicer McDonald's, but we weren't in the nicest of areas. Raw McRibs look hella weird though.
Worked at McDonald's Australia. Back when we had the old cheeseburger buns, before McDonald's got healthy, we used to scrunch up the buns and deep fry in the fry vat. Covered them in sugar, and you end up with something tasting like donuts.
Order an apple pie and a cup of ice cream and run that sob through the McFlurry mixer together. You can thank me later.
The crap kind of McDonald's are you guys working at? I've worked at 2 different ones, hours away from each other, and we would never dream of pulling these stunts. You people do realize that there are cameras? And the customers can see into the kitchen? Nothing is hidden, honestly.
The McDonald's that I worked at kept a very clean kitchen and front line. I had worked in restaurants that were privately owned and the food standards, throwing out old food and cleanliness, just weren't the same. I was very surprised with how much they constantly made us clean.
The chicken nuggets bounce.
May your day be filled with joy and happiness. And please remember to like, share, and subscribe for more quality content every day.